Now it's been exactly 2 years since the release of the Apple HomePod, and I believe it's the most underrated Apple product to date. Here's why. When Phil Schiller announced the HomePod, it just got me excited to see how this thing is going to sound, because the way he was explaining it, he was saying that the HomePod is going to calculate, it's going to indicate your room level, so it's gonna put how much bass it is. It was so much like tech into this. It has the A8 chip, and he was also saying how the sound bounce off the walls, and you could pair up two HomePods together for immersive sound. That keynote actually made me want to buy the HomePod and test it out, and man, to this day, I'm so happy to be a HomePod owner, I gotta tell you guys. But since this is a review video, let's just talk about the specifications real quick. The I/O technology, the HomePod features a high excursion woofer with custom amplifier. That's the thing that Phil Schiller was talking about. So it's like the HomePod can indicate the walls and give you the best possible bass and the best possible sound. And that's something I realized too. When you're on this side of the room, it sounds so much more better than when you're just right in front of it. It has 7 tweeters, 6 microphone array for Siri. I only have one HomePod, but I did heard 2 HomePods together at the Apple Store in 5th Avenue in New York City, and man, it sounds fantastic, man. I'm tempted to buy another HomePod, but I really don't even have space for another HomePod. Alright, so all of that stuff out the way, I just want to take the time out and appreciate the HomePod's design. 2 years later, this looks like it's something that will come out today, actually. It's so futuristic, ahead of its time, no ports, no buttons. This is a touchscreen, so you could tap on it to play. And as you guys saw, you have the volume up, volume down. You double tap to get to the next track, triple tap to get to the previous track. Oh, classic. I don't know why I explained that. 50 Cent. And overall, just look at the mesh, man. Look at that mesh. This looks like a marshmallow, you know what I mean? But yeah, I absolutely love the HomePod's design. And the reason why I went with the space gray instead of the white is because the white one, it was reported that it was getting dirty. And I didn't want to deal with that. And I know the longevity is not going to really be all that great. So I went with the space gray. And space gray everything. Taking a look at the back, as you guys can see, you just have the power cable sticking out in the back. You cannot disconnect this. But although I appreciate the design of it, I wish Apple cables, or just cables, all Apple cables would be like this braided material. And yeah, design, 10 out of 10. Like, no complaints whatsoever. It looks stunning, even to this day. And even if you look at the screen here, if you tap and hold it, you activate Siri. And you even have that nice colorful light indicating that you're talking to Siri right now.
Okay, is there something I can help you with?
Now, Siri isn't the brightest in the world. Still to this day, it still needs some smoothing out edges, but that's why I still have an Amazon Echo Dot by my nightstand, and I have this. So I have 2 smart speakers in my room, and yeah, I can't completely just use my HomePod just for, assistant. I do use my HomePod to turn off the lights though. So, turn off the lights.
All set.
And yeah, except for this light one, this was a generic screw-on bow. Very, very fast, very, very responsive, but the only thing is HomeKit is still to this day, there's not really that much accessories that support HomeKit because, Apple is so strict when it comes down to like the processing of, supporting HomeKit. So that's why I like the Amazon Echo better because, pretty much anything supports the Amazon Echo. Yeah, you do have that Apple logo on the bottom. And then you got that rubber feet, so it's not going to slip anywhere. Now, people were reporting when the HomePod first came out, it was leaving marks on their counters or their stands or where they put in their HomePod. I didn't have that problem, so you have to have an iOS device to set it up. If you don't have an iOS device, it is not going to work. So yes, this has Bluetooth, but you cannot put it in pair mode, so you can't pair up an Android device. Another thing too, you're just limited to Apple Music, so if you have Spotify, you can still play Spotify, but you have to go into the Spotify app on your phone and you have to do an AirPlay command. Or even better, you can use hands off. So finally, Apple has added this. This was one of the most annoying things when the HomePod first came out, but it's finally fixed. Let's say you're playing music. Yep. That's it. So now I was able to play. Look, it's going to do it again. Wow, it works so seamlessly. Look, I'm not even trying. Alright, let me pull my iPhone away. So hands off is a very unique feature. All you guys got to do is just have media playing on your iPhone and hover over to your HomePod and it's automatically going to transfer the media. Look. That is just like insane. And when if it's phone calls, podcasts, you're watching a YouTube video, you want to amplify the sound, you can do that just fine. And by the way, it works on any iPhone. So if I'm hovering on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, I don't want to get hit with copyright. No, when did the iPhone 11 Pro released?
A visit to apple.com should be able to help you with that.
See, it should tell me the day and X, Y, and Z. What else Siri can't do? I mean, I don't really ask Siri to do complex things. I mean, other than just turn off the lights and playing music and setting alarms and timers. The Amazon Echo is definitely far more superior when it comes down to the assistant. I was coming from a JBL Charge 2 Plus. I actually did a sound comparison between the two. In terms of looks, in terms of sound, definitely the HomePod blows the JBL Charge 2 out the water. Alright, so I'm going to play some music just to kind of give you an idea on how it sounds. We're going to switch it to this. This is how you switch inputs, by the way, quote unquote, without using hands off. And just tap on your HomePod, and now you connect it. Let's play it from the top, and let me be quiet this time. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, max volume. Max volume. %. Yeah, the sound is incredible. It's just amazing me on how Apple, the engineering team at Apple, really optimized the HomePod's sound. Like it's just no distortion. You don't hear anything popping and you have to turn it down. You can listen to a song maximum volume without any kind of distortion, and that is incredible. The sound quality on the HomePod, especially for its size, is incredible. And I can only imagine if you pair up two HomePods next to each other. By the way, they did drop down the price. It was $350. They dropped it down to $300. Sucks for me because yeah, it's $50, I guess. The speaker is all around. It's 360 audio, so no matter where you put the HomePod, you're gonna get that sound. For $300, if you're just buying it for the speaker, just for the audio quality alone, I would say it's worth it. Now, it is a little tricky now because Amazon did release an Echo Studio, so it's the HomePod competitor finally. It just came out not too long ago. And just according to Floss, I was watching Floss review on it. That does sound incredible, just judging by his review, but he was still saying the HomePod sounds slightly better, just slightly better, but they sound good. They both sound good. That is really the reason why this is the most underrated Apple product, is just really because of Siri. You're just paying for a really good speaker, premium speaker, beautiful design. I don't know what Apple is going to do with this. I don't know if they're going to just release the mini one and not a pro version of the HomePod. The design is definitely going to fit with any setup, I would say. So, yeah, beautiful speaker and beautiful sound too. Incredible. And guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, like I said, I only use this for playing music, so anything else I really barely use. I believe the HomePod could be a success. If they priced this at $200 instead of $300, maybe people would probably buy it, and if Siri is smarter. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.